Okay, so we've bound off all of our edges, top edge stitch. I recommend putting a stitch marker to mark your right side of work, but we are actually going to be keeping the wrong side facing us. Now I am doing this left-handed, so it's going to be a little bit back opposite. You'll be doing it right-handed, I'm assuming most of you, but the steps are still the same. So you'll see you have all these loops, and let me turn my light on. Oh, and let there be light. So you'll see that you have all these loops that are your yarn overs. Your goal is to pick up 85. So you're going to skip this very top one here because it's actually this one. We will address him later. So starting in your first loop, you just go in. You have the choice. You can either go front to back and get your yarn and pull it through, or some people like to bring this to the front. Bring it around this way. Some people go front, over here, behave. Front, get it around and pull it through. I find that extremely awkward. So I do stick it through the hole, front to back, yarn over, pull it through. So by doing that first one, we now have 2 stitches, and we're going to need a total of 85. So 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 37. And you get the idea. So we're going to go all the way down to our cast on. We're going to put a stitch marker that marks the point, and then we're going to do the other 85 stitches. And I will be back to show you the next row. And okay, so we've gotten all of our stitches picked up, and now you'll see when you turn it around, you now have the right side facing you, and we can move the stitch marker that we placed on the other end down to this end, so it marks the right side and the start of a right side row for us, so that you know where you're at. So the next part of the pattern says we need to get to a total of 95 stitches on each half. So I have my stitch marker here marking the half, and that means we have to evenly add in 10 stitches because we only have 85. So the way that best does that is basically every 10 stitches you want to add a stitch. So we're going to knit 5, or 10 rather, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's my what will be my 10th stitch. You have the choice. You can either do a yarn over, or you can do a knit in the front, and then you take it and you knit through the back loop. And by knitting through the back loop, you literally just go through the back and pull the yarn through. So you've made 2 stitches out of 1, and you'll have this little bar thing here. Not a problem. You'll never see it in the grand scheme of things, and it will disappear. I like that better than the yarn over. 2, 3, 4, 5. Because when you look, it kind of disappears. Right here it is. You can tell it's right here because these 2 stitches are a little bit closer together. But you don't have like a yarn over space, and it just kind of like, I think it looks a little bit less like you're adding in 10 more stitches. So but it's your preference. You can give it a try both with a yarn over or without. A yarn over is going to look like this. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we do like a yarn over, and you'll just see, let me just do a couple of stitches. So you can see you kind of have like this gaping hole here versus down here where it just melds right in and kind of disappears. In the grand scheme of things, you would notice this yarn over way more, which is why I personally don't prefer the look, but it is totally a matter of personal preference. So if you want to do a recap of my preferred way, would be you knit regular in the front, take your needle, go to the back, knit through the back loop, and do it that way. So you're going to add in 10 stitches per side. So so each of your halves of your shawl will have a total of 95 stitches, and then you're going to knit 1 row back so that you're back over to your starting point. And then we're going to continue on with part 2 of the pattern. That will increase your pattern out from the bottom, basically the edging of your, it's not the edging, it's the border of your shawl V. So it'll be hanging off the bottom of your V. So your triangle. Thank you.